what makes the best hotel in Las Vegas? Is it the most luxurious like the Wynn? Is it the coolest like the Cosmopolitan? Is it the hotel with the best location like Paris? Or is it one that is extremely budget friendly like South Point? Well, what if there was a hotel that combined all those major elements? That would make it the #1 overall hotel, but a place like that just can't exist in Las Vegas, right? It's impossible. Well, it may not be as impossible as I originally thought. In fact, Planet Hollywood isn't the most underrated hotel in Las Vegas. It might be the #1 overall hotel in Las Vegas, and throughout the video, you will see why. I only brought $1,000 for this entire stay, and at the end, you're not going to believe what the entire trip cost. I go to one of the top steakhouses in Las Vegas, the absolute best happy hour in the city. The pool setup is awesome. I do some gambling, some entertainment. I take you to some legendary spots, and you will not believe what I paid for the room. During one of the best weeks of the summer, I actually feel for once I'm getting the better of Las Vegas instead of them always getting the better of me. All right, Planet Hollywood, Las Vegas, one of my favorite hotels in the entire city. Let's jump right into it. This is the cheapest room available, the absolute most inexpensive. It's called the Ultra Hip King. You are not gonna believe what I paid for this room during the summer. I got an incredible rate. I'll talk more about that later. But just to give you the highlights, this room is spacious. It's 450 square feet. The bathroom has some things in it that you're not going to find at the Bellagio or Resorts World. The room is extremely crisp. It's functional. It's bright. It's clean. The bed is great, and there is ample seating. Like I said, I am really excited to be here. I am off to the best restaurant here at Planet Hollywood. It's one of my favorite steakhouses in Las Vegas. If you've seen my previous videos or my top 14 steakhouse videos, you know exactly where I'm headed. I've said it before and I will say it again. I think that strip house is too good for Planet Hollywood. And I mean that in the most complimentary way possible. It is so elegant inside, so classy. I feel like it would be better across the street at the Bellagio. It is dim inside. It's almost like a speakeasy, and there's something about that dark atmosphere and that red decor that just oozes a sumptuous, distinguished vibe. The steak was only $69, and I say only because you can't find a good steak at a top steakhouse for under $70 these days, so that was a nice surprise. Half of last night's ribeye was my breakfast this morning, along with a double-fisted Starbucks. The Starbucks, I think, with tax and tip was $21. I believe the dinner with tax and tip was around $160. 2 huge days in front of me. I'm headed to the pool right now, and then after that, I'm taking you to one of the best happy hours in all of Las Vegas. And then tomorrow, I'll tell you about that later. I forgot just how fun the Planet Hollywood pool scene is. There are 2 pools out there. There is a family pool and then an adults only pool. I think that's the perfect setup for Las Vegas. The adults only pool was fantastic. I had an amazing time out there. Fun adults lined the entire perimeter of the pool. It was social, active, energetic, but still chill at the same time. Great music playing. You had the Vegas skyline in the background with Aria, Cosmo, and then the Eiffel Tower. And just in case you want to be outside but away from the pools, there was a giant courtyard just to chill. All I had was 1 drink today. That's all I needed. That giant Paradise drink cost me $38. I had such a fun time today. I wish I could go back tomorrow, but I don't think that's going to happen. What is going to happen is the best happy hour in Las Vegas. This place is highly underrated, so very much underappreciated. And once I get there and show you this happy hour, you will see why. Koi's happy hour is from 5 to 8, and on some days it's from 5 to 9. That is double your typical happy hour window in Las Vegas. And Koi isn't some hole-in-the-wall, obscure, mediocre at best sushi place. It's a top Asian restaurant in the city. The happy hour prices are insane, and the portions are pretty impressive. All the food came out at once, so you can see exactly how much you get for your money. I had 6 dishes, 1 drink, tax, and a tip well above 20%. I was out the door for $100 even. The next morning I woke up and I found a little bit of a Planet Hollywood hack. If you've stayed there, you know just how time-consuming and treacherous the Starbucks are in the morning. I was in line at one of them and I happened to look over to my left and I saw a coffee bean just a few steps away in the Miracle Mile shops. There was nobody there, and I beelined right to it. Now, I'm not saying it's any better or any worse, but it did save 50 minutes out of my day, so I think that's something very noteworthy. And then after that $20 double-fisted breakfast, I went over to ABC store. I usually like to do like a CVS or Walgreens run once per trip. I got a couple large 1.5 liter Fijis and a couple more coffees to satisfy my caffeine addiction. The bill at ABC was $20 as well. So that was a jam-packed couple of hours. I started at Blue Moon Lounge, which is where I was supposed to go last night. It was the perfect place to begin my evening. After that, I had to go check out the automatic robotic drink bar. I think you have to do that at least once. It's interesting, it's fascinating, and it may very well be a glimpse into the future. And then I tried to complete the trifecta. I wanted to get a bite to eat somewhere, but all the places here are marquee. I mean, you got a Chick-fil-A, a Chipotle, an Earl of Sandwich. These are institutional places in Las Vegas and very difficult to get in and out of quickly, at least during primetime dinner. So I pulled an old Vegas hack. I went to Starbucks in the evening and got food, got it like in 5 minutes, and then made my way to Chris Angel. It was interesting. You know, I don't have a lot of Vegas show experience. There's a lot I liked about it and a lot that I would have changed. It was like part Rammstein concert, part monologue, part comedy, part pyrotechnic show, and then part carnival and magical show. Chris was a lot funnier than I would have ever expected. And a lot of the stuff wasn't rehearsed, it was impromptu. It seemed like after every act there was a monologue, and a lot of the monologues actually lasted longer than the performance itself. So yeah, lots of filler, especially for like an hour-and-a-half show. I think the most expensive ticket for that show was a little over $200, and the cheapest I think was around like $70 or $80. The price of the ticket says $106, but the overall Ticketmaster price was $149. Throw a $10 water on top of that, gets me at $159. My Starbucks altogether was $31 with tax and tip. My drink at Blue Moon Bar was $26. That of course includes tax and tip. And then finally my drink at Tipsy Robot was $21, but no tipping on that one. So my trip is pretty much almost complete, but there are still a couple things I want to do. In fact, I think this trip would be incomplete if I did not do at least 2 of these things before I left. So to make your trip official at Planet Hollywood, you have to get a drink at Heart Bar and of course do a little bit of gambling. Heart Bar is a staple here at Planet Hollywood. It is the bar to hang out at. It's called Heart Bar because it's in the middle of the casino floor. You can access it and see it pretty much from anywhere on the casino. It has this really cool circular design. It has this double-decker open ceiling and it's pretty chic and cool on the inside. I had a $20 special Christmas wreath drink. It was unbelievable. And then after that, I went to go press my luck at gambling. And I knew something was amiss when I could not find the $100 bill in my pocket. So I only put in what I could, and that was $80. To make matters worse, I was not even paying attention to the max bet line. On my very first spin at max bet, it was a high limit slot machine. I lost a lot of my money on the very first spin. So I spent probably under 45 seconds at that slot machine. I lost that $80 right away. And you would think I would drown my sorrows in alcohol, but this guy drowns it in food. I went to Earl of Sandwich at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Surprisingly, a lot of people there. I mean, they do call it the best sandwich in Las Vegas. I don't know if I would go that far, but it definitely is a great sandwich for a really good price. I got like a double Cuban for like $15. Now, what did I pay for the room? That's the most important thing, and you are not gonna believe this. I got this room for so cheap, it was less expensive than the resort fee. And I just paid the standard price. I have no clout with Caesars at all. So in order to get this insanely cheap rate, you obviously have to stay here during the week. My nightly rate was the same for every night I was here. It was $36 a night. There were another $33 of taxes on top of that. And of course, as I mentioned, there is the resort fee, which is more expensive than the room, which is just wrong. The resort fee here at Planet Hollywood was $46 a night. That came out to like $138 total for the room, for everything combined, tax, resort fee, and rate. 3 nights during the summer, it was under $100 total per night. $279 was the grand total overall, which during the summer is unbelievable. And that's why I think Planet Hollywood could be the #1 hotel in Las Vegas overall, because it has elements of the best hotels. It has the value of South Point, the location of Paris, Bellagio. It's got a little bit of luxury in it. You're not gonna find a bathroom that nice at a lot of 5-star hotels here in Las Vegas. And then of course you got some coolness. This is one of the coolest hotels in Las Vegas. Maybe it's #2 overall, right behind the Cosmo. So I'm gonna finish this video how I started it. What is the best hotel in Las Vegas and how do you define it? Is it based off coolness, popularity? Is it based off luxury? Is it based off price and value? Or is it based off location? There are different answers for each one of those scenarios. But what about the hotel that does it all? Wouldn't that technically be the best? There's really only one that does it, and that is Planet Hollywood.